You're joining me in a different location than usual. This is my dad's barn. I'm here to talk to you about a concept that I've been looking into recently known as daily acts of discipline. Now, recently I've been challenging myself to do some kind of disciplined action every single day. Today, that disciplined action was getting up at 5 in the morning to study for my chemistry exam, which I got a B on. I'm very proud of that because my chemistry grade is not very good. But with this new concept of daily acts of discipline, I've recently discovered that by doing these things, there's a very powerful and interesting side effect, and that is your confidence is going to skyrocket when you do daily acts of discipline. Because think about this, by doing something difficult and disciplined every single day, you are naturally going to have an increase in confidence because you're going to feel capable. You're not going to have this weird shame, this weird guilty feeling following you around throughout the day, like, oh, I didn't go to the gym today, or I didn't do it, I didn't meditate, or I didn't do my ice bath, or whatever, right? And so by doing daily acts of discipline, I have basically begun to rewire my brain to naturally think good thoughts about myself. I know this sounds prideful, right? And of course, pride is often a very bad thing, and you shouldn't be too full of yourself, but it's important to have at least a small level of confidence, to not be ashamed of yourself, right? And so I've also realized recently that the biggest issue with people like having poor mental health and feeling bad about themselves and having low self-esteem is because they have a high source of shame. They have bad habits that they do that they're ashamed of, but they still do because they're addicted to it, or it's something that makes them feel full, but actually in the end just makes them feel drained afterwards. That causes them to feel shame about themselves. It causes you to feel shame, right? You have bad habits in your life that cause you to feel ashamed of yourself, and I have bad habits in my life that cause me to feel ashamed of myself. Everybody has them. But the importance of finding confidence, like how you can find confidence, is pretty simple, actually. Just really all you have to do to be more confident is to feel adequate in something, to feel like you're capable of doing something specific, whether that be going to the gym, like you feel strong because you've been going to the gym for a while and you're able to move some weight, right? That can be a really large source of confidence. Or you feel intelligent because you've been studying a lot and you now are confident in the realm of intelligence. You've been putting a lot of effort and energy into learning and whether to be improving yourself academically or philosophically or whatever, right? Basically, the biggest thing you can do to boost your confidence is remove sources of shame and increase sources of confidence or pride, right? Now, of course, pride is a bad thing, as I said before, but by having things in your life, habits that you do, or achievements that you've made, this is going to drastically increase your confidence. I used to be very insecure. I used to constantly overthink social situations, and I used to kind of be like a class clown, always trying to make people laugh, and I still love to make people laugh, right? I'm kind of a jokester or whatever, right? At least I think I am. But by the reason for my low confidence is because I felt I had very little things in my life that I was adequate in. I was very unathletic as a kid because I was incredibly skinny and not very well coordinated. I'm still not that well coordinated, if I'm going to be honest. And so I did not feel adequate in a lot of things. I wasn't able to play a lot of the athletic games that other kids were playing because I just wasn't very athletic. And so I avoided them, which only made the problem worse because I wasn't ever practicing and improving my athleticism because I was avoiding sports entirely. What ultimately changed this was I joined the track team and realized that I was pretty fast, and that really improved my confidence because I was able to do something athletic and that is a core memory of mine, is joining the track team, because that was one of the few times in my life that I felt like I was a part of a team. It was very powerful for me. For you, it could be anything, right? But by doing things but like leveling up skills, because think about it, like, right, life is a video game. Basically, when you think about it, life is a video game. You're born at level 0, right? You have no real skills, right? Some people are born below 0, and they have to work very hard to get up to that point. Like maybe they were born with some kind of disability or whatever, right? No matter what it is your responsibility to level up your character. Otherwise, the video game of life is an incredibly boring one. Like, think about how boring a video game is if you never level up, if you never, like, say you're playing Minecraft and you never find diamonds. That's pretty boring, right? Or you never find anything, you just don't find, a lot of people don't find any resources, right? Metaphorically in this game of life, right? A lot of people don't achieve much of anything, and so they feel very unconfident when they walk up to a person with full diamond armor. Or walk up to someone who's very well accomplished in life. It is our responsibility as people to play this game of life and to play it well. To level up our characters that God gave us, right? It is our responsibility to make stories out of the characters that God made, right? Because think about this, right? If your life was a story, it'd probably be pretty boring, right? If my life was a story, it'd probably be pretty boring, right? Everybody's life is probably pretty boring. And if your life was like a sitcom, like a TV show, right? You probably wouldn't want to watch it because it's probably really dull. It's probably, you go to school, you come home, you do your homework, you play video games with people you don't like, and then you stay up too late and you go to bed. That is not an interesting story. But by making your story interesting, your confidence and your mental health become incredibly boosted. And that's really all it takes, is make your story a good one. Go out and do things you wouldn't normally do. Today, I did several things that I wouldn't normally do, right? And I'm not going to, go into detail of all the things I did today, right? But it was an incredibly powerful experience to just try new things that I would usually not do, right? That makes your story interesting. And when you make your story interesting, your confidence and your mental health improved, because by making your story interesting, you are not only pleasing God, who gave you your life, who gave you the ability to create this story, but you're also pleasing yourself, because deep down inside of us, we all want to make our lives an interesting and exciting story. It's just a little rant I decided to do today, so yeah, that's all I got for today. God bless you, and stay wild.